Oi.
Reverend David Baker.
How are you, mate?
Good to see you.
You too.
You are the single busiest man that I know.
Well, you know, it's an art in being, you know, unavailable.
Dave, you're the moderator of the Uniting Church in Australia for Queensland Synod.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
Well, my byline is I do odd jobs for the church. Well, it's a lot of fun because you do get to see a lot of things that are going on around the life of the church, and you have a general secretary,
Yes.
who does all the worrying.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. I'd like to try to help people lift their eyes. And,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, nose to the grindstone's tough.
Well, we can get down on ourselves a bit, can't
Absolutely we can, yeah. I think we got a big ideal and a big hope, and that means the distance between reality and that ideal can be, you've got to keep that creative and positive rather than taking energy from you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who determines that you get to be moderator? Is it like how we decide popes?
No, it's not. Well, in some senses, yes, in the sense that it is the Synod, which is the gathering of 350 people from across the life of the church in Queensland every 18 months. They get to decide who will take up the role of moderator for the terms.
Can only ministers be moderators?
No, anyone. Well, you've got to be a member of the Uniting Church, yeah.
Helps.
But helps. So we've only had one lay person be a moderator, and that was back in the 90s. But other synods have had lay folk in the role.
And how long are you moderator for?
Well, that's a very good question. So the term at the moment, the term's 3 years. So there is a process by which you can be renominated and be extended, or go back into the nomination process for a second term, and that happened with me. So I start my second term of 3 years in October, and currently we're just having a bit of this coming synod. We'll make a decision about how do we really want to make this work.
Because 3 years doesn't seem sort of super long, particularly I would guess that as moderator, you come in not with an agenda but with a vision.
You're there to actually help the councils of the church work that out. So you don't come with that sense of personal agenda. One of the roles of the job is helping the Uniting Church in Queensland have a relationship with other key players and entities and in the life of Queensland. The real problem with the 3-year term is it makes it difficult to establish that kind of profile relationship for the church.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
You get to see some of the really good stuff often. Getting rolled out as the figurehead Uniting Church guy. Yeah. What are the things that we should be celebrating?
I think we should be celebrating planting new communities of faith. That's been really exciting to see that happen. And I have to say, the work that our directors of mission are doing in Uniting Care, they're articulating the gospel to staff and to people that Uniting Care engages with. Yeah, there's some good stuff going on. I mean, we've got major challenges, but I still feel very deeply that communities of faith are places where you experience a richness of life that you wouldn't get anywhere else. A lot of our congregations have a diversity about them, and they like that. They like that,
Multi-cross-cultural ministry has become really important as well, hasn't it? Recognising that there is more than just the white Polongies coming to church. There's people from all over the Pacific, all through Asia, reflective of Australia as a community. The Uniting Church is doing lots of interesting things in those sorts of areas. How can people who maybe, are in a fairly white experience of church engage with some of that?
Maybe they could go to Next Gen Arise.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe they could crack at that.
They could.
They could be a volunteer at NCYC and they could have a great experience with that.
Gee, it'd be good if we had one of those.
An NCYC?
Yeah, it'd be
Let's have
amazing.
one in Queensland.
I reckon we're due.
What do you reckon?
Let's do that.
I'll tell Heather.
Let's see how after she picks herself up off the floor.
Yeah, well, listen, think about this. We got, what is it, Uniting Women?
Uniting Women Conference,
next year.
yeah.
So we will have built a body of expertise
100%.
to run this kind of gig. Mm-hmm. So let's not do it once.
Leverage the asset.
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
it work.
Yeah.
I'm 100% down with that.
Yeah, we could have some fun. It was a strong part of my life as a kid, and even right up until my early 20s. That camping experience is really profound, and I think we should keep on pushing ahead with it.
Yeah,
because you get out of your box, you know, and you just get to experience. It's a temporary community. You get to, all the gathering with people who you have some commonality with, but you don't know, and you get a view into their lives. Like I visited Country Madness up in Seaforth.
Yes,
I think it was
near Mackay,
north of Mackay.
Yep,
that was great, and they had a crack at it, you know,
yep.
And they had about 20, 25 kids, 30 kids there, and that's a good start.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have another crack at it next year too.
Absolutely.
The church is copping a lot of bad press at the moment.
It is.
How can we be positive and people of grace and influence in the middle of that?
Well, the only way I think we're going to do it, to be brutally honest, is if we shut up and listen. I think we've got to, before we open our mouths too much about anything in particular, we've got to earn the right to speak, and you earn the right to speak by listening.
I reckon we should go and have a coffee.
Ripper, sounds great.
It's a big year for the church. I mean, we turned 40, we got a synod in session, all these big meetings and stuff.
Big meetings.
What does that mean for young adults and young people in the church?
Probably nothing much.
Sure.
You want to rock up for a weekend and drop in, you'd be very welcome. Just to get a feel for it, get a sense of the vibe. Yeah, some of the times we think the structures are where the power is, but it's not. The structure might be where the authority is, but it's not where the power is. And one of the learnings is, if you want to bring people along, they have to participate in it. They have to see where they connect into it, and they have to be given power to engage in it. So if it's an ego trip for you, it won't last very long.
What's your hope for young people in the Uniting Church, Dave?
I hope they become radical disciples of Jesus that turn this place upside down.
Good.
I hope they ask really hard questions. Why is this the way it is? And I hope they do it on behalf of someone else.
Yep.
Yeah. If you try to say, I know how it's going to happen this way, and because this is the way I want it to happen, you might find yourself kind of a bit lonely and a bit unsupported. You do have to get into the work of collaboration, tension, wrestling.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got to facilitate that, and you've got to help make it happen, despite what you think you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So learn some of that stuff, and as I said, I think some of the learnings out of the Queensland Community Alliance, the 2-day training, 6-day training, really help you get your head around that kind of stuff.
thank you so much for your time, David.
Thank
I know
you.
it's super precious to try and get you for any length of time. But this has been wonderful.
That's good.
You do all right, mate.
Well, you know, a couple of years' time, I'll go, geez, I wish I had done that. Why did I do that for? That's life.
BreadFishToo.